Hi, welcome back to my channel, Cosmic Inside Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Today, I'm here with another astrological report, and I'm going to talk about Mercury retrograde in fire sign, which is going to happen actually 3 times this year. But Mercury went direct on the 1st of January in Sagittarius, so it's considered to be the fourth one. But yes, indeed, this year in 2024, we are having Mercury in retrograde in fire sign, and it's moved from earth sign. So actually it is ruling the 3rd and 6th house. So it rules Gemini and Virgo. And, we're going to talk about the archetype and the mythology, a little bit of Mercury, and, the misconception of the retrograde, because lately what I realized, a lot of people who doesn't have a deep knowledge of astrology, they are blaming Mercury retrograde for everything, all the shitty decision they make in their life. And, actually the retrograde planet and the retrograde, first of all, the planet is not going backward. They are actually standing still in the sky, but it's looking like they are moving backward from our perspective. So yes, it's slowing down and it's not taking that action. And if you know that, Mercury is a pretty fast planet, because the sun, after the moon, and after Mercury, what is the fastest planet, when it's going retrograde, it slows down. It's almost like it doesn't want to create or doesn't want to bring in new opportunities. Actually, it's waiting for the ripe fruit to get into your web. Like for example, if you started something way before, then you're capable to create that, and you're still capable to manifest those what you started way before Mercury retrograde. So yes, indeed, Mercury goes retrograde 3 to 4 times a year, and it's in retrograde motion for 3 weeks. But Mercury retrograde has shadow period before and after another 3 weeks. So obviously, if you think of that, the Mercury retrograde and its shadow period, like 9 weeks, 3-4 times a year, it's almost like its effect always affecting us, right? So it's almost half year long, it's or more, Mercury retrograde is affecting us. So we're going to talk about that misconception over here. So what you have to know, that is a major difference between the earth and fire sign. Fire signs are more active, they are more impulsive, they are initiative, maybe more aggressive as well. Mercury is the planet of communication. Actually, in Greek mythology, Mercury is Hermes. And, the archetype of Mercury, it's not only the way we are capable to process information, but it's also our communication or written communication, writing as well, the way you express yourself. So it could actually represent photography as well. Mercury is the planet of messenger, the messenger of the gods. And, Mercury is very clever, very, very witty. Actually, in mythology and in Greek mythology, Hermes was the son of Zeus. And, Hermes was tricking the gods. And that's why we call him the tricker as well. And Mercury is associated with petty thieves as well. But he is good poet. He is like the commerce, the orator. So he likes to travel. He is fast, and he likes to buy and sell stuff, right? So purchasing and selling things also associated with Mercury. the vehicles, because in third house in Gemini, it's rules, for example, like skill-based study. So elementary school, middle school, and high school, and any skill-based study over there. And it rules anything with social media, journalism, and the Roman. I mean, you know, like the Greek is Hermes, and in Roman mythology, it's Mercury. And it's pretty similar with Hermes in Greek mythology, actually. So definitely the protector of the merchant and the thieves and the travelers. It has an iconic symbol. If you remember, Mercury is holding an iconic symbol in her hand, and that is actually the Kadekos. And he also has a winged sandal as well, and the winged sandal, we call it Talaria. So that makes him to travel fast. But the Kadekos, often confused with the rod of Asclepius, and that was the symbol of medicine and healing. So actually, Mercury also associated somehow, because you know the two snake around the caduceus and the wing on it, it's representing definitely healing. The snakes always representing the poison of the snakes could be healing as well. So all right, what else? It's, you know, trading, and the sandals allow him actually to travel fast and be free between the world and between the world of the gods. So the archetype over here, it's attributed with the transmission and language, writing, interpretation, anything to do with communication, movement. Mercury, because of it's a fast planet, it could do a quick transition in our life. That's why when Mercury is in retrograde, for example, it rules your cell phone, it rules anything to do with your computer, with your TV, with your network, like with your nearby community as well. So whenever Mercury is in retrograde, retrograde, there is definitely you are, or you should watch out if you are purchasing a new phone, a new vehicle, because there could be some issue with it, and that you might have to return it. So usually I recommend everyone, you know, if you can wait. If not, just keep all the paperwork, and, you know, if you need to return, in case you have everything in order and you're capable to actually return it. Mercury also rules traveling, and, you know, Mercury rules the third house in Gemini. It's representing like the short distance traveling, nearby community, so your vehicle as well. And it could, you know, during Mercury retrograde, could something happen with your vehicle, or, you know, short distance travel could be cancelled or delayed, because it could bring in delays as well. And when Mercury is in retrograde and you have to take a test, for example, you might not going to pass the test because your mind is not that active, or you are not capable to, you know, like process the information as well as you did before, because of Mercury is mental agility, and you know, the retrograde motion, it's slower. Process the information is actually slower. So yes, and you know, he is the trickster as well. The trickster and the thief, because he is clever. He's really, really clever, and he always achieved his goals. Very, very intellectual, really witty, especially in Gemini, it's really witty. Not necessarily in Virgo. So it rules the sixth and the third house, but actually it's really belong from Gemini. It's exalted in Virgo, and actually it's detriment in Pisces, and it's fall in Sagittarius. And Mercury is in planetary joy in the first house, so it loves to be there. So let's see what other things we can say about it. So mind, intellects, yeah, all right, yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about the archetypes, nothing else. And, you know, like even Carl Jung was using Mercury retrograde and Mercury in the patient charts and checking, you know, the ability how they were able to process information. So because, you know, Mercury could be also the mediator here. And the Mercury traits with the communication and the way they are capable to adopt a patient, for example, that's what Jung was actually checking in his client, in his patient chart. All right, guys, so let's see what I wanted to say. The retrograde motion, as I said, it's an optical illusion. So it is not actually going backward, okay? It is just like almost like slowing down all the way and stand still in the sky. And you know, that's why all the information and everything that's coming to us could be slowed down as well. However, you know, Mercury retrograde, as I said, if you have your web out, you already can getting and gathering everything that you already planted before during this period. And Mercury retrograde is excellent to rewrite, revisit, reinvent anything that starts with re. So recheck your engine in the car, rewrite that article you wrote, you know, or re-edit your book, republish your book, things like that. So that is actually not necessary. Or for example, a Mercury retrograde and all planet retrograde is good to have something back in your life. So for example, if you lost a job and it's happening in your 6th house and Mercury going to go retrograde in your 6th house, you might going to get back your dog, your tenant, or your job, but you lost before if you were fired before or they let you go. Yes. You know, during this period, if you have to sign a contract, you know, make sure you are checking the very small printed version, because, you know, there could be some kind of trick there, you know, like some kind of scam. During Mercury retrograde, we have a lot of phone scam and email scam. So we have to be careful with that. And, you know, for example, what I wanted to mention, if you remember when the Queen died and Charles actually was pronounced to be the king, of course, the coronation wasn't there yet. That was a Mercury retrograde with a void moon. And obviously the coronation also went during the eclipse, which affected Charles. So obviously we all knew like he's not going to be a king for a long time, if ever, but he got coronated. But, you know, as much as I know right now about his health, he's not going to be there for a long time. All right, so then let's talk about the fire signs, because of this year it's gonna go retrograde in fire sign. So it's gonna be in Aries, and Aries ruler is Mars, and Aries exaltation is the sun is exalted in Aries, and Venus is detriment in Aries, and the fall, Saturn is fall in Aries. So Aries is the archetype of warrior, the initiator, the pioneer, someone who is very, very impulsive, very assertive. It has a spirit of initiation, you know, very raw, almost like animalistic energy. But, you know, Aries like to start new things. Aries could be natural born leaders, always competitive. They could be good in sports, very fast energy. And, you know, they are heads on with change and they jump into everything right away. And let's see the Leo, because that's also going to be where Mercury gonna go to retrograde. And it's the ruler, Leo's ruler is the sun, it rules the 5th house. And actually Aries rules the 1st house. And in Aries, Mercury is not exalted, but in planetary joy. I forgot to say that. Okay, let's talk about Leo. So Leo is the other fire sign, 5th house and ruled by the sun. no planet is exalted in Leo, and the planet that is detriment is Saturn, but no fall. No planet is in fall also considered to be in Leo. So the archetype of Leo is the king or the performer, someone who needs attention, likes to be on stage and center of attention. Fifth house rules joy, investment, romance, children, creative expression, self-expression, hobbies. Leo actually desire to be recognized, desire to be on stage and center of attention constantly. Leo could be actually really generous, but also very proud and eager to be in the spotlight. Leo rules also the heart and the circulation as well. Leo loves honor and has a strong sense of dignity and leadership. And then let's talk about Sagittarius, because that's the third fire sign where Mercury gonna go retrograde in this year. And the ruler is Jupiter. It rules the ninth house. Ninth house, anything to do with traveling, with higher education, with belief systems, spiritual beliefs. Also because it's ruled Jupiter, it rules the law, foreign language, export, import, anything to do with publishing, with foreign countries, long distance traveling, and also with your higher education, with your older siblings as well, and second marriage. So Mercury in Sagittarius in detriment, so it doesn't like to be here. And, no other planet in fall in Sagittarius, and also no other planet in exaltation in Sagittarius. But the archetype of Sagittarius is the philosopher, the explorer, loves to travel, likes to, teach, the philosopher. Sagittarius like to be right all the time. Sagittarius represents the quest for meaning, truth, higher knowledge, always thinking about what's the purpose of life. Let's get into the truth of everything, deep into, and the law is very important because Jupiter is over there and it's representing law. Sagittarians usually associated with travel, and they are very broad-minded, the way they approach life. They are the seekers, looking for wisdom and truth. And actually Jupiter, because Jupiter is the planet of blessing and generosity and optimism, so they do have an optimistic outlook usually. So let's see when Mercury going to go retrograde this year. 2024, Mercury going to actually turn direct in January 1st in Sagittarius. Then we're going to have April 1st till 25th, 2024. It's going to be in Aries, and then we're going to have August 5th till 28th, and it's gonna start retrograde from Virgo 4 degree to Leo 21 degree. And November 25th till December 15, 2024, it's going to be 22 degrees Sagittarius to 6 degrees Sagittarius. All right. So let's see those phases. I'm not going to, actually, I'm going to talk about the influence and the territories. And also when I'm going to analyze the signs, I'm not gonna analyze all each individual sign. I'm going to analyze by like if you are a fire sign or if you are an earth sign. So by elements, I'm gonna analyze you guys. So, let's see the dynamic of the retrograde, because of either it's ruled by, so Mercury retrograde in Aries influenced by Mars. In Leo, it's influenced by the Sun, and in Sagittarius, it's influenced by Jupiter. So we likely bring something quick and impulsive, sometimes even very aggressive communication styles. This can lead to heated debates or rapid responses in global disclosure. And actually, you know that we are having 40 election worldwide, and it's affecting 3.4 billion people. So conflict will be there. And, you know, very heavy debates, heated debates and fights on social media. And, you know, potential for conflict like war as well, because Mars is influencing the first Mercury retrograde. And it could actually some kind of issue with international relations. And perhaps, you know, there is some kind of diplomatic caution maybe needed to avoid war. So confrontation. And if we are checking the weather patterns, you know, meteorological impact, the fiery energy could correlate with more like dynamic weather patterns. Unfortunately, it could be like some kind of fires with you know, like the Amazon gonna get on fire, or, you know, woods on fire, definitely. So it could be creating forest fires, unfortunately. Let's see what's about with education. Mercury is the planet of not only communication, but, you know, education, and it's like primary school till high school education, skill-based education. There could be, because of it's in fire sign, it could be some kind of innovative thinking. It could be something with impulsive decision. And even with the academic and with the new curriculum that's going to happen here, it could be something that initiate fast learning, quick learning, for example. Yes, easier learning. So, for example, you know, we have those kind of situation with children, like they, even in math, they're using a method which is like making it so difficult for them to learn simple equations. And I think with this Mercury retrograde, something could come back with old curriculums, and it's going to be easier for them to answer and easier for them to understand in education. That could happen. In healthcare, well, you know, Mercury rules either Virgo, which is the sixth house of health, so that could be healthcare. And then it could be some kind of potential argument with insurances. For example, should somebody get Medicaid or Medicare, or shouldn't be, should be healthcare free or not, kind of insurance issues over there. But it could also rule the third house, which is anything to do, the sixth house rules the stomach, the third house rules anything to do with the chest area, respiratory, anything to do with vocal cords, anything to do even with thyroid issues. So it could be some kind of major issue or setback with stomach issues, you know, maybe even inflammation from food or poisoning from food during these times, or it could be something with increased thyroid issues in general in the public, or something to do with maybe some kind of infection as well during this Mercury retrograde. So it's bringing back some kind of infection. Yes, so definitely it's going to escalate the geopolitical situation, and the diplomatic efforts not going to be easy. It's going to require extra caution for sure to avoid some kind of rash actions. The financial market, actually, for financial market during this retrograde, you know, it could be a decrease, a potential decrease with any kind of investment. Fifth house is investment, ninth house is anything to do with aviation, the first house with metals. So there could be either an opportunity to buy again, because, you know, it's going to decrease the value, and then it's opening up opportunity for buyers. but definitely confusive. So during this retrograde, I don't necessarily would invest in something because it could be very impulsive energy and confusing as well. Yes, so that could happen during the retrograde period. Anything to do with inspiring ideas, new inspiring beliefs, actually not new, but returning to beliefs, right? Because of in Sagittarius rules the belief system, and also something with publishing, the way we publishing book or the way we writing. Oh, I know what it could happen. You know, like we don't want to use AI. We refuse to use AI in anything. We want to keep the authenticity, the way we were writing, the way we were communicating, the way we are building up all our messages, you know, like first, fifth, and ninth house and Mercury involved. Yeah. So returning back to something what was there for us before, and not using the new innovative opportunities, because we understand if we would, then we can lose our authenticity. Okay, so the first Mercury retrograde cycle, I'm not going to talk because it's already over and it's went direct in January 1st. So that doesn't matter anymore. But I'm going to talk about the second one, which is going to happen actually April 1st, right? And it's going to go direct April 25th. And the whole entire retrograde going to happen in Aries. So during this phase, two significant cosmic events going to unfold. The first is the solar eclipse, and the solar eclipse going to happen April 8th, followed by a rare conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus on April 20 and 21st. So this is big, guys, because it's not only the retrograde going to happen in fire sign, but we're gonna have an eclipse in Aries and April 2021, that is once in a lifetime experience, Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus. The alignment could trigger dramatic shift in financial markets, with some experiencing rapid value increases, while others face steep declines due to Mercury retrograde motion. So yes, somebody going to become a billionaire, millionaire, many going to lose their money as well. So the influence globally, that is going to be really, really aggressive. And, you know, also because of we have also the eclipse over here, it could be some kind of military actions, which is going to be aggressive. And yeah, some aggressive military actions during this time. Actually, Uranus involved over here with Jupiter, and it could mean some kind of nuclear weapon involved, unfortunately, during this Mercury retrograde. Yeah, so the intensity is going to be very important here. And the way the world leaders going to respond, it's going to be very important. But the positive side could be like we're going to have some kind of groundbreaking advancement in space, science, medicine, and in technology. So geopolitical field, the area's influence suggests heightened aggression in international dialogues. The Jupiter-Uranus conjunction could lead to sudden changes in global policies. Weather field areas, fires might correlate with more dynamic and potentially hazardous weather events like wildfires, sudden heat waves. Yeah, heat waves could be really, really like dangerous because of we had a cold, long winter everywhere, and it was even in Florida, it was very, very unusual to be cold so long. And that's when I remember when 23 years ago, when I arrived in Florida, we had a cold front like this for months. And that time, the hurricane season already started to started in April, beginning of April, something like that. It was crazy. And we had like 14 hurricanes back to back. So something I expect something like that, unfortunately. Yes. But, you know, also in finances, there could be some kind of misinterpreted data. And that's why people can misunderstand the signals, and there are going to be a lot of false signals. And you know, they can actually invest in something which is going to make them lose their money. And then we're going to have the third Mercury retrograde in August 5th until the end of August, the 28th of August. And it's actually gonna start in Virgo, as I said, in 4 degrees, and gonna go back to Leo. So here, something to do, and you know, it's going to make a square with Mars in Gemini because of the Mars going to be in Gemini already. So there is a tension over here. And because of Mars is also rules a fire sign, and Jupiter already gonna go by this time in Gemini. So Mars and Jupiter going to coexist in Gemini and make a square with that Leonian energy, right? It is going to set up a potential clash. Something to do with ideology, something to do with legislative, bodies, and something to do with strong opposition. So because of the political climate is going to be chaos already by this time, right before the elections, there are going to be a lot of extremes and ideological extremes, for example, fights and Mars is, war and assertiveness, and Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter doesn't like to be Gemini because it's rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter not that strong over here. So there could be some kind of attack against maybe for spirituality, belief system, anything to do with philosophy, with higher education. So there could be some kind of issues with those fields and areas for sure. Communication between nations could be critical, and fault finding, especially with Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Misunderstanding in diplomatic talks are possible. If we are checking the weathers, then is some kind of environmental issues going to brought up, but something to do with climate change, but then the leaders going to deny climate change during this time. And if we are checking the peace war field, and we're going to analyze that, there could be some kind of strategy actually, which could, bring in negotiation finally with the war in Middle East and the war with Ukraine and Russia. So yes, financial market could be very, very volatile over here as well because of the Jupiter and Mars going to conjunct in Gemini, and it's going to square with the retrograde. So definitely you will have to watch where you're going to put your money for sure. And because Leo was the 5th house, that is like investment, big risk, taking big risk. Don't put your eggs in one basket for sure, because it could be lost, broken and lost. And then the last one, the final Mercury retrograde, going to happen November 25th till December 15th. By that time, Mars is also going to go retrograde. And Mars is going December 5th till 2025, February 24th. So here it is, what's going to happen over here. So it's going to happen all the way in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is aviation, anything to do with long distance traveling, belief system, anything to do with Jupiterian rule areas. So this retrograde actually is influenced by Jupiter, right? And Jupiter is generosity, expansion, and Jupiter is anything to do with like Santa Claus. It is the fairy godfather. So, well, that time, let me see the chart. Let me go back. Mars going to oppose Pluto that time on the last Mercury retrograde. And it's going to highlight disagreement for sure. Because Pluto is that. And then Mars actually is war, right? I'm sorry, I have to stop because I'm started to cough. All right, sorry about the coughing. So yes, so during this last retrograde, we're going to have grand ideas and optimism mark this period, but may need more grounding in reality, especially as Mars, as I said, going to turn retrograde, and also Neptune going to go direct on December 7th. So we have to, we will actually expect a mix of unrealistic proposal and charming yet impractical narratives over here. And yes, Pluto in Aquarius and Mars going to oppose. Oh yes, because Mars gonna go retrograde in Leo, actually, where Mercury was in retrograde before. So that actually highlighting disagreements over budget and spending and anything to do with passive-aggressive attitudes. And the holiday celebration could be somehow a little bit screwed for us because not only Mercury retrograde over here before, but because of Mars opposed Pluto as well, and Mars retrograde opposed Pluto here during that time. However, there is a saving grace because Venus going to trine Jupiter December 20th, so it might go into balance out the energy and give us some love during this period. But you know, as I said, Sagittarius influence suggests a focus on international laws and ethics. However, the retrograde can bring back issues around freedom, immigration, and legal matters, and it's going to be a major issue this year because there is a global invasion and a global exodus. So the weather-related area as a fire sign, Sagittarius might align with more expensive and unpredictable weather patterns, potentially affecting actually international travel. So, you know, they have to delay flights, and that's why it's expensive because of the airplane companies have to give back the money, and they're going to lose a lot of money because of that. And then idealistic yet potentially unrealistic approaches to peace. So the initiatives actually not going to be realistic when they try to actually, you know, create peace between countries. Financial market could see some kind of huge increase in global events. Economic policies might need more solid foundation, leading to market skepticism. So overall, 2024 brings unique challenges and influences across different sectors. So you know, that is really a fiery energy, and definitely the finances, the stock market going to be influenced by that. And definitely we will see more fire and unfortunately engine issues in aviation and, you know, wildfire across the world. And Mercury is wind, and there, if it's going to be fire, you know, it could spread fast because of that's representing wind, and Mercury is fast itself. So unfortunately, in fire, it could in windy Mercury in fire element could go and spread fast. All right, guys. So let's see what's gonna happen. Trading, for example, short-term trading could be you know, like a pickup between people because they want to get rich very, very quickly and they are impatient. But it could actually bring profit loss if they are not watching where they're going to invest. So definitely there could be some kind of issue. Because you know, there is like Leo and Sagittarius definitely rules. Sagittarius rules anything to do with foreign currencies and anything to do with aviation or export import. And the fifth house is investment itself, you know, Leo rule. So there could be some kind of sudden dramatic fluctuation in financial market. All right, guys, so as I said, I'm not going to do one by one signs over here. I'm going to check actually the elements here, and we're going to talk about Mercury retrograde for the elements. So that is the earth, fire, air, and water sign. And I'm gonna start with fire sign because of the retrograde happening in fire sign. Anyway, the zodiacal wheel starts with Aries, which is a fire sign and ruled by Mars. So, okay, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. What house going to be impacted by this retrograde for you guys? The first house, the fifth house, and the ninth house. And I was talking about this during the whole entire video. So first house, anything to do with your ego, the way you represent yourself, the way you represent your company, okay? The fifth house, that's your body, the first house. First house also representing your eye and your face. Fifth house is joy, investment, children, creative project, and your love life, romance, as well, anything to do with happiness. And the ninth house is traveling, long distance traveling, belief system, high education. So personal identity as self-expression, creativity and romance, higher education and philosophy. Fire signs might experience introspection regarding their personal goals, creative endeavors, and beliefs. So you actually might going to have a setback over here, or you know, you reinvent yourself. First house, when it's gonna happen in your first house, you're going to return to something. The way, you know, you had a short haircut when you were younger and it looked good on you. You're going to use this, you know, like some clothes, because you lost a lot of weight and you can have the clothes 10 years from ago. And you're going to be really happy. It fits on you. But you're going back, the way you communicate, you're going back the way you communicated before. And also it could be bring back a romantic partner. It could bring back you know, like a creative project to you as well in the fifth house. Or it could bring back an investment opportunity. And the higher education and philosophy, you're, you know, like you stop believing in something and you're going to start to believe again. Or, you know, it could be like you had to drop out from university and you go back and you do your master's. You finished to take care of a visa because you wanted to move abroad, but right now you're going to start again and move, you know, like there is an opportunity to move abroad. Or, you know, you couldn't study the language that you wanted to learn because you get pregnant, or, you know, life get in the way, and right now you're going to relearn what you wanted to learn before. So this is the area for you. And earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, it's going to impact your 12th, 4th, and 8th house. Those are the water houses. But, you know, that is subconscious, the 12th house, anything to do with the underprivileged, afterlife, eternal womb, anything to do with addictions as well. And 4th house is your family, anything to do with your living situation, ending, funerals, and also your roots as well, your land as well. 8th house, anything to do with shared resources, all the taboos, tax, death, sex, tax refund, medical malpractice, abortion, anything comes over here, but also banks and stock market. So it's gonna influence that area for you. So there is a major transformation in your subconscious and hidden matters, but the transformation coming back to you, like for example, you couldn't go to, you wanted to go to a retreat or get rid of an addiction, but you left and you started to use again some substance, and right now you're going back, and most likely you will be capable to go with it, and and some kind of addiction over there. Your home and family lives, a situation could come back to you guys, which is like, okay, I am capable to buy the house I wanted to before, or like something with family planning. Even you can actually take that exam, like you could never take the real estate exam somehow, and right now you will have time and you can study and you are capable to retake it. If there is some kind of inheritance or anything to do with 8th house matters, tax refund, money could come back to you, but you thought it was lost, but was hidden from you. So that could be really good. Or mortgage, you can get a mortgage because of somebody is helping you behind the scene. So Taurus and Virgo Capricorn, it could be really good for you. This Mercury retrograde. Let me see the air signs, that is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It's going to affect your 11th, 3rd, and 7th house, anything to do with community, social group, social network, and relationship. Those are the relationship houses. 7th house is business partner. That's the monogamous people, like business partner, followers, client, one-on-one relationship, your significant other. 3rd house is your nearby community, neighborhood, your sibling, younger sibling, niece, nephews, uncle, aunt. 11th house is your social network, and it's a higher social network. 11th house is your friendship group, your community. So here is Mercury retrograde going to bring back maybe a marriage partner. Maybe you wanted to divorce, but right now you don't. It's gonna bring back a sibling, a friend to you. So someone who you thought you lost, but right now it's an opportunity there to get them, those people back. And there is also opportunity to get that bonus what you wanted, and it was actually promised to you, but you didn't get it. But right now somehow that bonus or promotion coming back to you. It could bring back a neighbor, for example. You thought they moved, but they moved back, or they left their house somehow and not living there, but somehow they're moving back to their house. It could also bring back an opportunity with studying, learning, because 3rd house, anything to do with skill-based study. So you might going to have the time to study right now, or the funding to study right now. And it could also like redesign your social media accounts, redesign something to do with your website, or actually re-edit your book if you do any writing. So it could be that as well. Yeah, and then the last one is the water signs, and your house is going to be impacted, the 10th, the 2nd, and the 6th house. So anyone who is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, rising sun and moon, your 10th, 2nd, and 6th house going to be affected. So what is that? That is career, public image, and actually your work and health routine. So the 2nd house, anything to do with your values and finances, with your earned money and your possession. And the 10th house is your public image, honor, career, reputation. And 6th house is your health, your rental property, your pet, and your daily routine. So when Mercury goes retrograde over here, there is an impulsive energy to make sure your finances are fine. You're getting back a job. And because you're getting back a job, you're getting back an earning. And because you get back the job and you were actually proved, you proved wrong everyone else, that's why your public image also can change. So you can get a promotion with it. You can get honor and recognition through this. So water sign, career paths, public roles, and financial security going to be under this magnified pluses, your material possession especially. So definitely, it could be something like you will have an opportunity to rebuy an art, what you sold before, because you pawned something, a jewelry, an art, because you didn't have money and you will have money to rebuy that. Repurchase it. Or the career, you lost something over there with your career, with your work, or your roommate left, or your tenant, maybe you even going to get a pet that ran away. So it could be those kind of impact on your life if you have a water sign. All right, guys. So that is Mercury retrograde in fire signs. Yes, finances, wildfires. Yes, there is financial institutions could be under, increase, decrease, changes. Mercury, it's going to get confusion, and you don't want to invest in something impulsively because there could be a loss there. So definitely we had to talk about that and the financial market as well. And, obviously, because Mars, Jupiter rule, Jupiter is low, Mars is war, and then the Leo, the ego, it could be some kind of leader's ego is involved, and, they not want to create peace, but they rather to go after war, because obviously that's how they can actually gain power and money as well. So that's in it for sure, but there is a lot of really amazing opportunity into Mercury retrograde as well. We don't have to fear it. Right, guys, if you love my videos, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Check out my website, which is UrbanWitch.org. Until I talk to you again, bye for now.